Welcome back to Audio Movie Recap. Today, we're diving into Animal Farm, the 2026 animated adaptation directed by Andy Serkis. Based on the classic novel by George Orwell, this version reimagines the famous allegory through the eyes of a young piglet named Lucky, while preserving the story's central themes of power, corruption, and the betrayal of revolutionary ideals. The story begins on a struggling farm owned by Mr. Jones. Financial troubles have pushed the farm to the brink of collapse. Soon, the animals learn a horrifying truth. They are destined for slaughter as powerful business interests prepare to take over the property. Fear spreads through the barns and pens as the animals realize that their lives are no longer in their own hands. Among the animals is Lucky, a young and innocent piglet who has spent his life believing that humans know best. Like many of the farm's younger animals, he dreams of a future where everyone can live safely and freely. Those dreams begin to take shape when Snowball, a courageous and intelligent sow, challenges the animals to imagine a different world, one where they govern themselves. Snowball's message spreads quickly. For the first time, the animals see themselves not as property, but as a community. United by hope and desperation, they rise against their human owners. The rebellion succeeds, and the animals seize control of the farm. Their victory feels like the beginning of a new era. The farm is renamed Animal Farm. Rules are established to ensure fairness and equality. Every animal is supposed to have a voice. Every animal is supposed to be equal. The future appears brighter than ever. At first, life improves. The animals work together. Food is shared more fairly. Decisions are discussed openly. Lucky witnesses something he has never seen before: genuine optimism. For a brief moment, it seems that the dream of freedom has become reality, but revolutions are often easier to win than to sustain. As time passes, another pig begins to rise in influence: Napoleon. Unlike Snowball, Napoleon isn't interested in cooperation. He understands something far more powerful than hard work: control. Patiently and carefully, he positions himself at the center of the farm's leadership. He convinces some animals that he alone can protect them from outside threats. Others are persuaded through fear. When a struggle for power erupts between Snowball and Napoleon, Napoleon strikes first. Snowball is driven from the farm. With his rival gone, Napoleon assumes complete authority. At first, the changes seem small. Rules are adjusted, promises are reinterpreted, history is quietly rewritten. The animals are told that certain sacrifices are necessary for the greater good. Lucky watches these changes unfold. At first, he accepts the explanations. After all, Napoleon claims to be protecting the farm. Many animals want to believe him. But as the months pass, disturbing contradictions emerge. The pigs begin enjoying privileges denied to everyone else. Food shortages affect ordinary animals while the leadership lives comfortably. Questions are discouraged. Dissent becomes dangerous. The principles that once united the farm slowly disappear beneath layers of propaganda and fear. Napoleon's chief weapon is not force alone, it's information. The animals are constantly told that life is better than ever, even when their own experiences suggest otherwise. Facts become flexible. Truth becomes whatever the leadership declares it to be. The revolution that promised equality has produced a new ruling class. And that ruling class looks remarkably similar to the one it replaced. Throughout this transformation, Lucky faces a difficult personal journey. He wants to remain loyal to the ideals that inspired the rebellion, yet he cannot ignore what he sees happening around him. Friends who speak out disappear from public life. Honest criticism is branded as betrayal. The gap between the animals' dreams and their reality grows larger every day. The young piglet begins to understand one of the story's harshest lessons. Power does not automatically corrupt people, but unchecked power almost always corrupts systems. The farm that once represented freedom now operates through intimidation and manipulation. As external threats gather around Animal Farm and internal tensions reach a breaking point, Lucky must decide where he stands. Will he remain silent and protect himself? Or will he risk everything to challenge a leader who has betrayed the very principles that brought him to power? The answer leads to a final confrontation that forces the animals to face a painful truth. Revolutions can fail when people stop holding leaders accountable. Freedom requires constant vigilance. Equality requires active participation. And no leader should ever be trusted simply because they claim to act in the people's best interests. By the film's conclusion, the animals are left confronting the consequences of their choices, while Lucky emerges wiser, having witnessed both the promise and the danger of political power. Themes and meaning. At its core, Animal Farm is not really about animals, it is about people. It is about revolutions that begin with noble intention but become corrupted by ambition. It is about propaganda, the manipulation of truth, and the ease with which fear can be used to control a population. Most importantly, it explores how societies can slowly surrender freedom when citizens stop questioning authority. The film reminds us that tyranny rarely arrives overnight. It often emerges gradually, disguised as security, stability, or necessity. What starts as a movement for equality can become a dictatorship if power is allowed to concentrate in the hands of a few. And that warning remains as relevant today as it was when Orwell first wrote the story. That's it for today's audio movie recap. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Animal Farm 2026, don't forget to subscribe to Audio Movie Recap for more detailed story summaries, character analyses, and cinematic journeys. Until next time, keep listening, keep imagining, and keep questioning the stories behind the stories.